All right, welcoming you to Cardio Flow for the care of Wellenstroms. Today is our last class of the year 2023, and we really had some good ones, and we've created a wonderful wellness community. Whether this is your first time here or you've been here since the inception, so pleased to receive your feedback about what's helping you manage symptoms like fatigue, peripheral neuropathy, what's helping maintain your well-being, what's helping you live better with Wellenstroms. So last month we had a fatigue webinar, and our experts talked a lot about different types of physical activity being a helpful intervention for cancer-related fatigue. And I was just chatting with some of our folks before I pressed the record button about fatigue being one of those symptoms that's pretty common, that I hear a lot about, and that is the symptom that sent my father to the doctor, which inevitably led to his diagnosis. And it can be different for everybody. So I have a saying that energy begets energy. And so today's class is all about begetting energy by moving. As a yoga therapist, one of the things we learn about is prana and the way that it flows through the body. Prana is life force, and the word also means breath. So I will be giving you a lot of reminders to breathe, and that is one way you can move your prana or life force. What I would like you to try to do is just notice your energy levels before and after our class, and maybe later today, and sort of treat yourself like a science experiment as we move through this like about 40-minute gentle, slow, repetitive movement class that hopefully will feel good in your body. And if it doesn't feel good, I will invite you, I'll give you plenty of cues to skip something or change something. You can do less, you can do more, you can do whatever feels best for you. So let's get started. I'm going to come to a little farther away so you can see the top half of my body, but I've got my feet resting on the earth, and I'm seated to start. We'll have the option to stand and then warm down seated again, but we're going to be doing some standing a little bit later. If you have extra energy that you need to release, you can always be standing at the beginning too. So I'm just going to start by bringing my arms at my sides and inhaling the arms halfway up and exhaling the arms all the way down. So I'm breathing in, breathing out. That's good. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe this time I could go up a little higher. Breathing in, breathing out, and getting that blood flow moving, getting that lymph fluid moving. So important part of our lymph, a part of our immune system function to get that lymph fluid moving. So we're breathing in, maybe we're going all the way up, breathing out, out and down, breathing in, breathing out, and we'll take one more big stretch of the arms, inhaling, exhaling, beautiful. And I'm just going to take a moment to let my hands rest on my lap. And one of the goals of each and every one of our wellness sessions is to move the body a little bit in a lot of different places. So let's take care of the head and neck. I'm just going to tilt my right ear towards my right shoulder, breathing into center, breathing out to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhaling to center. Exhaling to the left. Moving at your own pace with the breath, one more time on each side. Good, and then taking a moment, just resting the hands in the lap and maybe closing the eyes and doing one little moment's worth of investigation about your own energy level right now. So just exploring what your energy feels like in your body. And if it felt useful, maybe even ascribing a value, a numeric value from 1 to 5. 1 being low energy, 5 being high. What's your energy level right now? The answer might be, I don't know, and that's okay. And if you wanted to share with me on your hand what your energy level is, holding up the number of fingers that equates with that, you would be welcome to do that, but that is optional. And it gives me a little sort of check-in. That's beautiful, guys. Thank you so much for sharing. I really appreciate that. So let's go ahead and open the eyes and stretch the right arm out to the right. With my right arm out to the right, I'm going to spread my fingers as wide as I can. And then I'll curl a fist around my thumb and drop my knuckles down. That's good. I'm breathing in and opening the palm wide. And breathing out, dropping my knuckles down. So it's a big wrist stretch. Inhaling and lifting those fingers up and spreading the fingers wide. Exhaling, knuckles down. Beautiful. And then I'll keep that arm lifted. And I'm going to tilt my left ear towards my left shoulder. Just let both shoulders relax and begin to circle my palm. Breathing. And moving the arm downward little by little. So I'm warming up my shoulder and feeling how this feels in my neck. And then I could tuck my arm behind my back if that felt doable, or you could rest the hand on a hip. And I'm going to spin my chin down and just take one big easy breath here. And then I'm coming back up and I'm noticing the difference between my right side and my left side right now. Stretching the left arm out to the left, opening the palm as wide as can be, and then curling that fist around the thumb, dropping my knuckles down. You got it. Inhaling and lifting and spreading the fingers. Exhaling, knuckles down. You got it, Beth. And one more like that. Really nice breathing, Susan. And then we're going to keep that palm lifted and tilt my right ear to my right shoulder and just begin to circle the palm. Easy, gentle circles. And if you're caring for any shoulder issues, you could modify this, change it up. That palm can move down little by little. Little by little. Eventually, I could tuck my arm behind my back. And I'm just going to spin my chin down and take one big breath here. And let it go. All right, coming back up and just rubbing the hands together, creating a little warmth, right? Sending a little warmth over to Eileen in Massachusetts. And if there's any part of the body where you experience tension, such as the jaw, the eyebrows, the shoulders, the neck, you could take a little moment to bring some TLC to that area. So we're here to take care of ourselves and get the prana flowing, right? So muscle tension can contribute to that blockage as well. And of course, you know, the lymph fluid is another thing that we can move through massage, and that is another thing that can contribute to overall energy levels. All right, let's go ahead and I'm going to move to my seat back here. If you have water, you could take a sip of your water. Hydration, another way we can help our body work properly. And let's go ahead and do a little bit more seated warm up. So I'm at the edge of my chair here, and I hope you have a chair that's conducive to this, but I'm just going to start walking in place. And I'm swinging opposite arm, opposite leg. You can go at your own pace. And remember to breathe, my friends. My goal is to get my heart pumping, to get the blood flowing, to get my lymph fluid moving, to lubricate my joints, all of these things. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release and take a moment. And then we'll go ahead and let's take a little bit of a wider stance. So a little bit of a wider stance here. And I'm going to circle my body circle my torso in one direction, just to warm up the spine and the hips a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe you'd like to go in the opposite direction. Good, and if you're just joining us, we are still in the warm-up phase. Yeah, just joining us, we're still in the warm-up phase, making circles with the torso. Welcoming you, Edith. Welcoming you, Joe. So glad you could come to our class today. So we're just getting warmed up. And we're going to come back slowly to center and take hold of our chairs. So taking hold of our chairs, I'm going to step one foot in, the other foot in, and then I'm stepping back out. So I've got this wide stance that I'm narrowing and then opening. And I can feel this work in my hips. And I'm stabilizing through my core. And so good core work here. Finding my breath. And then the next time I bring my feet in, I'm going to stay. And I'll just stretch that right leg out. Stretching that right leg out and pointing and flexing the toe. And then switching sides, holding the left leg out, pointing and flexing the toe on the left side. Good, I'm going to do that again on each side. Right leg lift, pump the foot in place. And opposite side lift. Good. And then releasing down from there. Okay, so I feel pretty warmed up in head to toe. I'm going to do a little bit more movement here. It's called cross crawl. And so I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides and my knees out to the sides. And I'm going to work towards bringing my elbow towards my knee. It does not have to touch. I'm trying to keep my core stable here. I'm not doing too much bending and twisting at the same time. I just want to keep it pretty gentle. Many of us, caring for different things going on in the low back. So we're staying safe here, keeping those core muscles strong. You got it, Janice. That's beautiful. And we're breathing. And I'm not going to push through discomfort or pain today. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, take a breath. Maybe close the eyes and feel the whole body with your breath. Feel that prana flowing. All right, here's a little core exercise I love to do. So I'm going to slide to the very back of my chair. And I'm going to bring both feet out in front of me. I'm squeezing my feet and my knees together. And I'm zipping up my core and sitting up tall. And I'm reaching my arms straight out in front. So I can feel the effort here in my legs, in my core. And I'm just taking one big breath. And then I'm releasing back down and maybe massaging the tops of my thighs. I could stay at this point in my chair, or I could come forward a little bit. So this is will be a little bit more challenging. And I could start with the hands on the chair and lift my feet up. Zip up my legs like it's a mermaid's tail. I could keep my hands on the chair, or I could try lifting the arms out straight in front and taking one big breath. And then releasing down, massaging the tops of the legs. So you could stay there, you could move back, you could skip it, or you could move forward just 1 little inch. So test out whether you feel balanced before letting the hands go. Make any adjustments. So I'm sitting up tall, I'm squeezing my legs together, and I might feel safe lifting my arms straight out in front. I'm not gonna push it if I don't though. Big breath in and release down. So really feel the work there in my thighs. That's great, Carol. Now you have the option to come to a standing posture, and this in and of itself is an opportunity for us to work and to slow down. So I'm gonna say inwardly to myself, I am never in a hurry. And when I'm ready, I might like to practice getting up a little bit and coming right back down and seeing if maybe I could turn on my glute muscles and see if I can turn on my glute muscles. If you have knee issues, you might not want to do too many reps of this. When I'm ready to come up, I might come up slowly, but that's a nice thing we can do to just practice and strengthen the muscles we need to come to a standing posture. If you're feeling like you need to stay seated today, that is also an option. So whether you're seated or standing, we can begin to walk in place. Opposite arm, opposite leg. We're taking a walk together. A Waldenstrom's promenade. Breathing in, breathing out. Doesn't matter how high you lift your knees, doesn't matter how fast you go. We're just getting the energy moving. Energy begetting energy here, hopefully. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Sink into your knees a little bit. My feet are about hips width distance apart. And then I'm going to bring my hips back. I'll pull my belly towards my spine, so I'm integrated there. And I'm going to isometrically push my feet apart. So I've really turned on my glute muscles. And then from here, we'll bring the arms down at the sides, almost like we're kind of reaching down and back. As we inhale, we're going to come up, swoop the arms up, straighten the legs. As we exhale, we're going to sink down, arms coming back. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, sinking. We'll do 3 more. Inhale and exhale. Moving at your own pace. That's good. And last one. Beautiful. And then coming to stand. Coming to stand with my chair here for support. I'm going to come up onto my tiptoes and release back down. So I'm massaging my toes, the bottoms of my feet. If you have pain or discomfort when you do this for whatever reason, you can modify it. Some of us prefer to wear shoes during our practice. That can help us feel more supported. Some of us lose the fatty padding on the bottoms of the feet as we age, so definitely wear shoes if that's you, or if you have diabetes, you would wear shoes as well, just to prevent any kind of injury. So I'm coming up onto my tiptoes and I'm working towards maybe taking one hand off the chair or both hands. It could be one, right? Maybe it's a short little flutter. As we inhale, we're lifting up. As we exhale, we're coming down. Right? I could hold onto my chair the whole time if I need to. Beautiful, Sharon. We're taking 3 more at our own pace. Slowly floating down. All right, taking a little bit of a wider stance and circling the hips. Warming up my hips. Moving to the side, to the back, to the side, to the front, like we're hula hooping. And maybe moving the other direction. You could go faster than me, you could go slower than me. Good, you got it, Judith. And then I'm going to come back and just let my arms rest down at my sides and move my right arm up and over as far as feels good to me, while that left arm is really loose. I'm letting that left shoulder totally relax. And I'm getting a big stretch in the right side of my body. Left arm lifting up and over, letting that right shoulder really relax. Big stretch. Moving from side to side. Inhale, right arm reach, left arm loose. Good. Inhale, left arm lift, right arm relax. And we're taking one more on each side. And last one. Beautiful. And then I'm going to bring both arms out to the sides. And I'm going to let the lower part of my body be kind of loose as I twist my torso to the right, the center, and to the left. Right? Imagining that at my core there lives a fire, and I can fan the flames of my fire with this twisting motion. Kind of getting that fire a little bit hotter. And maybe only resting your gaze on one or two things around the room. That helps me kind of prevent dizziness. Good. I might take one more on each side. Good. Coming back and taking another walk. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Maybe this time you can notice, where do you land on your feet? Is it the whole foot coming down, or is it just the forefoot? Do you land on your heels? And maybe you can change that up and just kind of notice your feet a little bit as you do this. You got it, Edith. Taking a walk. Breathing in, breathing out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful friends. I'm going to bring my right foot forward and my left foot back at a little angle. I've got a nice wide base. So if I feel wobbly here, I have a chair, but I could also walk my right foot to the right. And I'm going to bend into my right knee. And I can kind of squeeze my left glute muscle here and feel this beautiful stretch, the front of my left hip. You got it. So option here would be to bring the arms up and then bring the arms down as you straighten the leg. So we're inhaling, bending the knee. Maybe it's one arm or both arms coming up, and then bringing the arms down, straightening the leg. Right? Do what feels best for you. Maybe there's another way you'd like to do this. We're going to take one more. Really nice. I'm going to hold onto my chair here and shorten my stance a little bit. I'm going to bring the weight into my right foot, and I'm just going to kick up my left foot a few times. So kicking up my left leg behind me, little donkey kicks, squeezing that left glute muscle. You can feel the work there. Maybe you would like to reach that right arm forward. Reaching the right arm forward as the left leg kicks back. Right, I'm holding onto my chair for this. Beautiful, friends. One more. You could hold if you want. And then release down. You've got it. Walk it out a little bit between sides. That's a tough one. And I think I said this last time we practiced, but Sharon is bringing some higher intensity to our our wellness space. And so that particular exercise is like a warm-up for one thing that Sharon does, which I love. So let's try all that on the other side. I'm going to step my left foot forward and my right foot back at a little angle. I'm sinking into my left knee, squeezing that right glute muscle. Nice wide base, so you could widen your base if you feel wobbly. You could keep the hand on the chair the whole time. Maybe you want to lift one or both arms. We're taking a breath in. As we exhale, we're straightening and bringing the arms down. So something a little different. Inhale, bending, arms rise. Exhale, straightening, arms lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release down, straightening. We'll take one more. That's good, Carol. All right, and then I'm shortening my stance, taking hold of my chair, and doing some donkey kicks here, just kind of warming up. This feels good, like strengthening for my lower back. And you might feel safe reaching the left arm forward as you kick the right leg back. And again, moving your mind to the center of yourself. Imagine that fire. That strong fire burning bright at the center of you. You might do one or two more. You might feel called to hold and stretch. Good. And then I'm going to take a little breather. So I'm going to walk both feet back. And I could keep my head lifted if I have glaucoma or vertigo, or if I felt safe doing so, I could bring my gaze down at the floor, and I'm getting a good stretch for the backs of my legs here. Finding one or two more breaths. And then when I'm ready, walking myself up and maybe grabbing a little sip of water. How are you guys doing? Okay? All right, I got some thumbs up. Beautiful. All right, let's take a little bit of a wider stance. And I'm bending into my knees, and I've got my fists ready. My fists are ready to do some punching. I'm going to start by punching to the right and punching to the left. So I've got a little bend to both knees. It doesn't have to be as hard or as effortful as you possibly can go. And I think that's one of the big takeaways for a lot of us, is that I could go to 25% of my effort on a day where I have really, really low energy and I'm trying to pace myself, do some activity pacing, so that I don't, give it all away. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bringing the feet back together. I'm going to bring my palms to face up. Palms facing up. I'm going to sink down into my knees just like we did before with the hips back. And then as I come up, I'm going to bring my dinner plates out to the sides. I'm coming back and sinking down and rising up and opening my plates. And you can skip the bending of the knees if need be. Breathing in and breathing out. You've got it, Carol. That's beautiful. Breathing in and breathing out. Those dinner plates to the sides. So you can feel this is working the rotator cuffs in the shoulders and kind of opening the chest a little bit. Maybe undoing some of that rounded posture we accumulate. Let's do 2 more. All right, and then we're going to do a little cross crawl walking. So we did this while we were seated. If you're feeling tired and you want to sit down and do this, that's always an option. So I got my arms out to the sides, and I'm going to be stepping my knee towards my opposite elbow. I could go slowly here. I could just do the lower part and I could be seated for this. You can feel that flame burning bright here. If you wanted more, if you wanted to ratchet it up one notch, you could extend the arm and the leg, kind of a la raquettes, if you felt safe doing that. Or you could keep doing exactly what you're doing. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful, guys. Very nice. I'm just going to walk it out, or I'm going to take a couple breaths in place. Kind of get my heart rate back down from that. That was a hard one. All right, stay with me here. We're going to do a little bit of balance work. So I'm going to clear my chair to do some balance beam walking. I'm going to start with my feet together. And you could do this if you don't feel safe doing this. You could have your hand on a wall while you do this. But I've got my feet together, and I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides like a tightrope walker. And I'm just going to take a little walk to the top of my mat here with my heel to my toe. And see how that feels. Right? You could look down, you could look straight ahead, whatever feels good. Now this is where it gets hard. I might feel safe walking backwards, heel to toe, or I might not. And I could shift it so it's not exactly heel to toe. And I'm just walking forward and back on my balance beam, my imaginary balance beam. Finding my breath. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to hit the mark every time. I'm just playing. And we've learned a little more about walking backwards and how good this can be for challenging our brains, for helping with our balance and with our gait, help build muscle strength. And walking backwards may also help with knee pain. All right, the next time you walk forwards, you can stop. And we're going to work with standing on one leg now. So I'm going to hold on to my chair for this. And I'm going to bring my weight into that right leg. Maybe a little bend to my right knee. Picking up my left heel. Maybe I keep my toe on the ground the whole time. Maybe I want to pick up my leg and hug it in. So I've got this one tree trunk. And I'm zipping up my core. And I'm working towards finding my edge. I want to find that wobble point. And I want to find that wobble point so that I can improve, I can challenge myself. Right? If I feel safe doing that today, and that today might not be the day, and that would be okay. Remembering to breathe and maybe relaxing a little bit even. You got it. And then when I'm ready to come out of this side, I'm just going to kick out that right knee a little bit. Kick it out, walk it out a little bit. Get the synovial fluid back into the joint. And then coming to the other side, we'll bring the weight into the left foot if this side feels okay for you. And if you have knee or hip issues on one side, you might stay a little bit less long. You know what I mean, shorter time. Zipping up the core and making my way towards my edge, my wobble point. It might come more quickly on this side. You got it, Bill. So seeing if you could stand on the left leg. And if this is really too easy for you, you could close your eyes. Or you could challenge yourself by holding onto the chair and closing the eyes and just noticing. You got it, Janice. Taking care of you. And then we're walking it out. All right, we're almost ready to start winding down, but I want to do a little bit more. So I'm walking up and back. up and back. I'm swinging my arms up and back, up and back. That's good, Ginger. You can do this standing. You could do this seated, walking up and back. And now I'm going to the side and side, swinging my arms, side and side, stepping, side, side. And now I'm going to go back to front and back, swinging my arms up and back. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Beautiful, friends. So I'm going to stand in place for just a moment. And I'm going to, if I feel safe doing so, closing my eyes. I could keep a hand on the chair. And I'm just going to observe my inner energy for a moment. And I might feel my energy flowing in the form of heat in my body or tingling, not like the peripheral neuropathy tingling, but a different kind of tingling. And I'm just noticing that. And then if there were any other movements your body wanted to make while we're still standing, or if you've already come to sit, that option is there for you too. Maybe another set of side bends or some other kind of movement. If you really liked something that we did, like the cross crawl or, the twists. Yeah, that's good, Beth. Well, maybe for my very last movement, I might just lean my body forward a little bit. And I'm just going to let my arms swing. So this is something that you can do to release tension from your neck and shoulders. And you can feel that space opening up in your shoulders. And you can imagine your cares, your concerns, your burdens dripping off the ends of your fingertips. And we're just letting them go. All of the past year of cares and concerns, 2023, we can let you go. We're ready for 2024. All right, and then we're ready to come up and take that sip of water, come to sit. Come to sit. Maybe you want to work on the way there and do some more slow exercise, or maybe you're ready to just come to sit. Turning on the glute muscles. All right. And let's do 2 more stretches, and then we'll take a little rest together. So I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee if this feels safe and doable for me, for my knee and my hip. Right? You could modify this as needed. So I've got my right ankle over my left knee, and I'm not going to push through pain or discomfort, but I might feel like I could reach the heart forward a little bit. Or I might be just moving my mind to my right hip and asking it to soften. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Shoulders relaxing. Good, and then we can sit up tall, cross that knee all the way over so the right knee is nestling on the top of the left. And we're turning the torso to the right. And the hands can just support this twist. Turning to the right, we're taking a breath in, getting taller. Breathing out, maybe twisting a little deeper. Imagining that flame at the core of you. And then releasing back to center and doing those same 2 things on the other side. So we've got that left ankle over the right knee, or whatever approximation feels good to you. Yeah, that's good. So I might be already feeling a lot of sensation just in this posture. And I'm going to not push through pain or discomfort here. But if I feel like I want a little more, I might reach my heart forward. Soften my shoulders. Find a couple easy breaths. then making my way up. We can cross the knee all the way over, just like we did on the other side. We're twisting to the left and bringing the hands wherever feels best. I'm not going to force this twist. I'm using my own muscles to twist. And sometimes my breath can feel challenging here. So I like to find my breath where I can, maybe at my right rib cage in the back of me. And then we're relaxing back to center. We're going to take one more big stretch. And then we'll take a moment to just completely rest. So if you're somebody who has a bed or an easy chair or a couch in this room with you and you would like to take a moment to just completely let go and lie down, we're going to be in a rest pose for 2 minutes. That might mean you're just going to sit back in your chair and maybe put a blanket over your lap. Just doing a little something so that you feel like you can kick back a little bit, relax a little bit. So I'm going to feel the support of whatever is underneath me. And I'm going to ask my body little by little to release effort, starting with my jaw. So I'll take a breath, and on my exhale, I can just let my jaw relax. I could take a breath in, and on my exhale, I could let my shoulders soften. And I'm just moving my mind down the lengths of both arms, giving my arms permission to do nothing. Going down the spine into the lower back and the tailbone. And just allowing myself to sink into the support that I feel beneath me. Going all the way down the lengths of both legs into the feet. Letting the legs be heavy. Giving my whole body permission to rest and do nothing for just 1 or 2 more moments here. And I might like to take 3 breaths in a row. And if you're reclining, you could stay there, reclining for a little while longer, or you could begin to come out of it. And if you're sitting up or resting back in an armchair, you might begin to become more aware of your body positioning and come into a more upright posture. And then we're just going to rub the hands together. And maybe if you're wearing glasses, you could remove the glasses for just 1 moment, creating some heat and warmth and care for ourselves. We're going to cup the palms over the eyes and just take a little break from the monitor. And just drink that in, maybe roll the eyes around. And we're slowly blinking the eyes open, slowly letting a little bit of light back in through the hands. And if there are any other areas in the face that you'd like to massage, you could smooth out the brow or maybe massage along the jawline. Put the glasses back on whenever you want. And then I will wish you a very, very happy new year, and thank you so much for finding your way here today. Taking one more moment just to observe your energy in your body. And, you know, you could close your eyes for this, and maybe there's a number that pops into your head or your core, right, for what your energy level is. From 1 to 5. And maybe the energy level went up, maybe it went down. There's no judgment either way. We're just observing and raising the hand and showing me on your hand if you'd like, if you haven't already, what your energy level feels like. Gotcha. And then blinking the eyes open, and now I will say thank you and Happy New Year. And I hope to see you in another wellness class. We have chair yoga on Monday. This is a New Year's Day practice, so you can bet your bottom dollar we're going to be setting intentions, not for the year because that's too much. We're going to just set some intentions for our practice that day. And the next Friday we have a strength training watch party we're going to do with Sharon's strength training video. And that is at Friday at 1 o'clock. I'll be on the road in Florida. We'll be practicing chair yoga the following week from Florida. And then we have a peripheral neuropathy webinar later in the month. So you can look at the most recent IWMF newsletter that just came out that has all of this in there. And then I have a really special announcement. In February, we're going to have Rami Rones come back and start our monthly Tai Chi and Qigong series. And that's going to be on Tuesdays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Will be recorded, so if you can't make that time, you'll get the recording if you're interested. So thanks so much, friends, and I'll see you next year.